Hi, we're Jay and Jen from Almost Homestead.
And we're participating in a collaboration called Getting Closer to Your Food. We want to thank Haywire Homestead for putting this together, and we'll have a link in the description below of all the channels that are participating in this collaboration. What are we doing to get closer to our food source?
For one thing, we're continuing to practice skills like canning, fermenting, pickling. We're doing some gardening. We have a garden area up here and a greenhouse, and we're learning what will grow up here. It's a little different than what we're used to where our old house was. We have a shorter growing season, I believe.
Yeah.
And that really is something to think about for next year.
Yeah, and we put down a lot of wood chips, and I think it was probably sucking a lot of the nitrogen out of the ground, which might have affected our growing. So Jen suggested we do raised beds for this next go. So we'll be building raised beds this winter to try to ramp up our food production.
I think that would help.
This year, I really hoped that we could have some squash grow. Jen makes a really great curry squash soup, and we got one Lakota squash and we have a butternut squash that's still hanging up in our squash tunnel, and we're just hoping it ripens. It's still up there, but so we're not getting the squash that we expected.
No.
And we were hoping for sweet potatoes, because I really like to make the flatbread from the sweet potatoes and flour. It's an easy recipe, but our sweet potatoes really
Didn't have enough time to grow, I don't think.
so these are sweet potato fries, right? Yeah. Okay.
We did have some success with some things. I think the cooler weather crops might do better. We did have some tomatoes, some rhubarb, some kale. We have a couple of trees that we've planted. We have a couple apple trees we're going to plant. We have a fig tree and a plum tree. And we have new seeds for next spring. We have pawpaw seeds.
Yeah, Whistle Thicket. We bought some of Tom's pawpaw seeds, so we're gonna help Tom bring back the pawpaw. And we're thinking about buying a couple of pawpaw trees that there's a place Jen found in Oregon, and there might be a local place, so we're still checking out. But then we could get a couple of other pawpaw trees that mature quicker, and we'll see how that goes. And
Some of them have a shorter growing window so that they ripen faster. And you have to have at least 2 different kinds anyway, so.
So they pollinate each other? Or, Okay. So part of doing this modern day homestead thing was to raise our own meat also. And we've just gotten started with quail and chickens this year. Yeah, and the quail, they're about 9 or 10 weeks old, he says. And we just got our first egg today. Thanks, little dudes. They're individually wrapped.
Wow.
And
They're dark brown.
it's almost a childproof wrapper. And yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Delicious. That one might have gone bad.
Does it taste bad?
It tastes good.
We haven't got any eggs yet, which is odd. We just changed their food to more protein and put a light on them, so we're hoping to see some eggs soon. We have eaten 2 of these so far, and they were pretty tasty. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that in front of you. We have tasted 2 birds similar to these type, but they were pretty tasty, tasted like chicken.
We also have 5 hens that are laying eggs. We got them this year, first and second weeks of April, so that's been fun raising them. We did have 2 roosters, and we don't need roosters, so we ended up culling them, and one of them is still in the freezer.
So these girls were producing 4 to 5 eggs a day, which was great, and that only lasted for a little while. Now that it's started getting colder and darker sooner, they cut back to about 2 eggs a day. This one here is supposed to be an Americana, but she might be an Easter egger because she has stopped laying altogether. And from what Jen read, the Easter eggers can just cut off production completely.
For months.
For months, yeah. And she's been already 3, maybe going on 4 weeks of no eggs. But yesterday I introduced a new program where I do little motivational speeches for these girls. Hey girls, how you doing today? Glad you could all make it. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about egg production. Good crowd today. We've got Daisy here from Colombia. She's a Colombian Wyandotte. Flew in all the way from Colombia. Really appreciate you being here tonight, Daisy. You got anything to say? Okay, she's a little shy. What do you want to do with your life? Do you want to be a slacker or do you want to produce? Do you want to feel good about what you're doing here? You can produce eggs all day long. You can produce hundreds of eggs. Yeah. And we'll see how that went and check the nest back here. I really believe in the message of positive reinforcement and motivational speaking. So I'm hoping this makes a difference for our girls.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
We're on to something here.
It worked.
I also find it's helpful to tell the girls a story before they go to the perch or sing them a song. And that seems to soothe them. And when they have a calming sleep, they seem to do better with the egg production the following day. Dewdrops on my lawn. Go out to the backyard to see what's going on. All right, well, in all seriousness, we are raising quail and chickens for eggs and meat. We want to continue raising. We want to do meat chickens here in the springtime. We've thought about doing rabbits, not sure about that. But we are trying to be more self-sustainable and grow more of our own food and raise more of our own food. All right, thanks for checking out our channel and this video. Please subscribe if you like this content and like what we're doing. Don't forget to check out the other videos that are part of this collaboration. And if you're not growing anything yet, get out there and try growing something, or start with chickens if you want to raise your own animals. Chickens are easy. They're a whole lot of fun. So from Almost Homestead.
Thanks for watching.
All right, see you next time. What do you mean you can't do it? You can do it. I got confidence in you. Even the quail have confidence in you. I know you can do it, okay? Yeah. All right.